There we are. Hello, hello. Oh, who was first? Lynn, you're first again. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Jess. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Jill. Hi, Marcy. What you doing? What you doing? Hi, Miss Jamie. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Keith. Hi, Grace. How are you? Hi, Miss Destiny. Girl, I'm glad you hopped on for a live. Hi, Cynthia. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Mallory. How you doing, Mallory? Is it cold up your way? Girl, I don't even have to ask, do I? Yay, our long-awaited bloomings. Finally made it. Girl, I got to put some cuticle oil on. Hi, Eileen. How are you? Merry Christmas. Almost Christmas, right? A little bit more. There we go. Thanks for joining me on this Wednesday night. I'm doing fine, thank you. Hi, Peggy. How you tonight? I know we're a few minutes early. I always like to try and log on about 5 till, because you know if you're going to have an issue, it's going to run you late and it'll be 5 after before you get logged on. So if it logs on at 5 till, we just kind of hang out till everybody else joins us, right? The internet is a blessing and a curse sometimes. Hi, Sunny. How are you tonight? Look, I'm going to teach y'all how to use these, and you can use these with your regular inks. You're looking forward to Sunday night, Ramona? Look, now, y'all, I'm rusty because I don't play that often, so I'll be practicing on y'all, okay? You just got home from the salon. We're still at work. We have had a busy day today trying to get New Year's Eve swag kits mailed today, and just lots of other irons in the fire. So Keith ran and got us a bite to eat, and we're still here. I know I wouldn't have time to get home and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, wait till you see how these work. Hi, Crystal. How are you? Girl, if you love ink, you're going to love these. You're going to love them. Good, good, good. How are the y'all that working behind the chair? Y'all holding up okay? Your arms all right? Your hands? Are you about to keel over? Your body hurts? I know, honey. Sonny, you're hilarious. Yes, I know. Look, I'm not even working behind the chair, but I'm doing a lot of filming right now, and my body hurts. My body hurts too. It's just a hazard of our trade. You know, you use those, whether you think you do or not, you use those neck muscles because you look down all day. Oh, yay, Destiny. Good, 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 good. Busy. Hi, Carolyn. King and Queen, Red Cat Eyes back in stock yet? No, they won't be here till when the rest of our spring ships. Yeah, unfortunately, we have to have thousands of bottles made at once. And so when we have a run of thousands of bottles, we have them filled at once. And they're in that filling, Sonny. Not to worry. They'll come back. They just won't be here till after Christmas. Yeah, girl. I know somebody that's got 2 or 3 sets of them that I know one set I hadn't opened if you want to talk me out of them, but look, I have a set here. I actually have 2 sets at home. One of those I know I haven't opened. I have to have backups on all my things. You can't remember if you sugar with fine, and whipped. Yes, you sugar in your whipped cream gel, Maria. And at least a microfine. Not something too chunky because it'll come off of there. Plus it would bother me. Hi, Miss Rhonda. That or your spray glitters are the best to sugar with. All right, we're going to talk about watercolor bloom inks. Okay, these are not gel. They're not gel. They settle just like an ink would. Like here's the gold metallic. All of them settle. Look here. So you got to shake this up real good, honey, before you use it. This is like a cornflower blue type color. See there? You're going to shake all of these before you apply it to the nail. Now, unlike regular ink, these inks go over a matte surface in order to get marbleized. Is everybody following me there? Okay. These inks have to go into a wet layer in order to bloom. Not blooming gel. They're not going in blooming gel. They need to be bloomed. Oopsie, got the top off mine. Hold on. I pulled the top off. The only thing I have found that they bloom really good in is Ladybug Luster. Technically, I guess you could use any wet gel, but they don't bloom at all in HEMA-free Ladybug Luster. But now they make a really pretty smoky type something in HEMA-free. Okay. I've not tried it in matte. I have tried it in metallic glaze. Metallic glaze, they swoosh way out in. So I'm going to show you how to use these tonight and how you can combine them with your regular inks. I know a lot of y'all do alcohol inks and you're crazy about your inks, and you can mix these with these, and as long as your ratio is correct, these inks too will bloom and separate just like these ones do. But you have to have more of this than this. Okay? So we have white. Number 1 is Snowdrop Dew. It is solid white. There's a coupon code on these tonight also. They're $249.50 for the set. If you use the code Bloom Ink, you can save 15%. Bloom Ink, that's all capitals. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Jess. Yeah, these will work hand in hand with our other inks. So we've got white, Snowdrop Dew, and then obviously we have black, which is called Midnight Mist. Rosewater Haze. This is a beautiful, really pretty, creamy, rosy, kind of like smooth talker, like rose quartz. Then we have Lily Leaf Pond. Look here. Isn't that beautiful? Let me set these up so I don't knock them over. All right, next up we have Cornflower Cascade. This is a really pale blue. I'll be using this one tonight. We've got Sprinkle of Peach. I'm going to be using this one tonight. Now, once you shake these, they do stay shaken for a while. Sprinkle of Peach. Violet Ripple. Look at her, how pretty she's going to be. We have Indigo Shower. That's the one I just shook up a minute ago. Deep. Almost like it's almost like a neon royal blue. These they should never dry out. They're liquid pigments in here. It's not dry pigments. Here is the gold Buttercup Bloom. They are milky, yes. And then Floating Petals is another white, but Snowdrop Dew is just solid white. And Floating Petals is pearl. I don't know if you can see that on camera or not. This one is very translucent because it's a pearl finish. But they're not like milky inks. You got to wait to see them activate first. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with this right here. This is Smarty Pants. I'm going to lay some matte top coat down and put some regular inks on here. And then I'm going to show you this here. Let's see. You could use it just like it is, but you're going to get a prettier effect if you work your other inks with it. This is just Velvet Matte. Girl, this is going to be beautiful. Let's cure that. And the other color I'm using tonight, what's she called? It's Candy Crush. Right here. Candy Crush. A lot of y'all grabbed these earlier today. As soon as we announced we had them, y'all went crazy and got your watercolor bloom inks. So thank you, thank you. I think Keith's already shipped some of them. And that's Velvet Matte on that one also. Okay, let me make sure we can see okay here. On this pink, I'm going to go in with a burgundy. I'm going to go in with a little brown. And I'm going to go in with some purple. Thank you, Jess. I know you've been waiting on them. Let's work these colors in around here first. Little brown. You would think these colors on pink. Girl, no, that's not going to work. It actually is going to work really, really pretty. So let's just do a nice inky background here. I am using a new phone tonight. My video phone died. My other iPhone 11, honey, died. And my color looks just a little bit different on screen than what it looks in person. It might be a setting on my phone I have to go in and adjust. So here's a little burgundy. I'm going to just let those two kind of get married. But it could be all these video lights I'm under as well. Girl, let's dry it up. Look, this is the first live I've done at my office since my studio's been done at home. And I'm like wondering, girl, how did you pull a 14-hour workday on Wednesdays without stopping and sitting yourself down a little bit? Because I got an office chair here, honey, but that's it. We have no place comfortable to sit here. And I'm like, Lord, yeah, I done got spoiled. I've already gotten spoiled. So let's blend this out a little bit. Now, we don't want marble lines per se in here. I just want to soften this color just a little bit. Hold on, let me see. I bet I know what it is. It could be, it's the black background. That's what it is, throwing our color off. Hold on just a sec. We can fix that, honey. Hold on. There we go, GGO. Now. See? Now let's take a little purple. I was trying to work on that little folder. Which ink did I put down first? I put the brown. Brown and then burgundy. And now I'm going to go with some purple. It's a beautiful ink combination over top this. And now just blend in that purple ever so slightly. Like, I want nice deep dark colors. I don't really want it washed out. You thought we weren't having class today? No, today is class. No class next Wednesday because it's Christmas Eve, honey. Next Wednesday. Little bit more purple down here. Okay, and that's ready. What do I expect from my old lady? Girl, I'm old too. I'm old too. Okay, if you've not watched me do alcohol ink before, we let our ink dry. And then we're going to seal that with metallic glaze. Metallic glaze keeps our top coat from peeling off, even though we're not ready to top coat just yet. This will protect this ink surface while we go in with this. I'm going to use this peach over top of that. Don't think me crazy. We could use the peach, or wait. Maybe we use this one. I had fully intended on using the peach. Maybe I use some of both. Let me shake this up while that's drying. Okay. Seal it up. Hey, we are blessed to be older, aren't we? Being on the top side is better than being on the underside. Oh, goodness. Look here how pretty that color combo is. Oh, girl, that makes me want to sing a song now. And let's cure that. "30 seconds. Shake, 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 shake. Get my top loosened. And now to get our watercolor Bloom Art ink to bloom, it has to go in a wet layer of Ladybug Luster Wet Look top coat. So here we go. Let me get everything to my right over here. Very thin coat. I almost dry brush it on. I don't want to see like any separation in there, but I do put that on as thin as I possibly can. I'm going to zoom so you can see what's going to happen here. Now we take our art ink, get the top off, and here we go. We're going to target kind of where we want this, and we wait. And I'm going to target a little bit here. And she's going to start to separate. And girl, quit. Stop it. Look, 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 look. And obviously, body heat, I don't know why I'm going to put my finger in here because my hands are cold as ice. Body heat helps that bloom even more, right? And if you want some really cool patterns worked into there, just touch your brush in a tiny bit of acetone. I'm hesitant to use alcohol ink brush because it holds a lot of fluid. But you can kind of go into the side of one of these. You see that? That's why it's called Bloom inks. And you can kind of tailor a little bit how you want it to function here. Just touch, touch, touch. If you don't want that harsh edge, look how pretty. Oh, Oh, honey. Look, I've not even got to use it. It got here this morning. And we have been just slammed all day. Look how beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? And then you just let it sit until it finishes blooming, or until you kind of, I like it like it is right there. It works like fluid art, but it's very, very teensy weensy tiny and super flat, Jamie. It's not gel, so it's not going to have the raised effect that our fluid art gels would. This is really, really tiny, and disbursement is like flying. Okay. Let's go with another nail here, because I'm going to use a couple of colors on this one. You can control where you put these. You like the fluid art all has to go, it has to go on the activator. So if you want fluid art on half, then you've got to do something with the other half to camouflage the ridge kind of where it stops. Does that make sense? Did I explain that right? Fluid art is textured. It's like 2D. These are completely flat in the nail. These are for your people who don't like to feel glitter. They don't like to feel stones, crystals, any of that. Okay, this is the same brown that I just used. But wait till you see what happens when you mix it with your regular inks here. I've got brown. I'm going to go in with a little bit of aqua. Kind of let that get married. It's a very versatile product because you can mix it with your current ink collection. And you can just create tons of different colors, textures. For 2026, one of the hot nail art trends is going to be texture that's not textured. What that means is, a textured look, but it stays flat in the nail. Who would have thought? Who would have thought by our blooming inks getting delayed that we were going to be on trend for 2026, honey? I love this brown and aqua together over this gel polish. Yes, this is for those that want to lay flat. And the white one in this, I can already see that it would make the most beautiful ocean wave ever. Remember a couple years ago when we had those really pretty sea spray decals? Y'all remember those? I have tried to find those things again and have had no luck getting those. This would mimic that. Look, y'all, I'm all about grabbing a bottle. While I love me a decal, to me, it takes extra time to set the decal for the matte top coat. It's just a little bit more work than what it is if I just pick up my bottle and make it. You still have one, Janice? They were beautiful. Now I'm going to take a little bit of, what do I want in this one? I want a tiny bit of orange. You got about a half sheet. Just a speck of orange here, maybe right there. Here we go, GGO. Wash that out. Oh, this is probably my favorite color combination for inks, is this right here that I'm doing. Okay, let her dry. Just give it a little fan. and seal her with some metallic glaze. My metallic glaze bottle getting empty, honey. And I love my red bottle. So I've just been filling it from my black bottles. Look at that color combo, how pretty. Girl, she's speaking to me. Is she speaking to you? She says, I'm all this in a bag of chips now. And let's cure that. Looky, looky, looky. This is beautiful. Look, you can't tell me nothing on this one. This is really, really pretty. If you are a stamper, like I'm seeing some targeted stamping here. If I were going to stamp this nail, I would stamp it inside of this little kind of like diamond pattern I've got going on. And I would leave this as is. It looks like frost. It looks like fur in some areas. I agree. I agree. So on this one, I want to use corn flour. And I think I'm going to use a little bit of the buttercup. I think. So let me shake up both of these. Loosen my lids. And now to bloom this, it has to go again in wet Ladybug Luster. Something that we can never be out of is Ladybug Luster. This is our #1 selling product here. Our #2 selling product is our alcohol inks. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go with the corn flour. And I think I want that, oh, I don't know where. This is a super, super light blue. It might look a little bit more white on here than it will blue. Let me just lay down a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Pop in a little bit of this gold. I'm going to pop my gold kind of right. Girl, stop it. Did you see that? Honey? Now, if this is not the ocean, I don't know what is. And I'm tapping that pretty heavy, and then give it a second to bloom. Before you put the brush back in your bloom ink, be sure you wipe it on a paper towel because you're picking up that gel residue on your brush. Here we go. Here we go. Watch. We're going to touch here. We're going to touch here. So you can see, those of you that have my metallic inks, this is nothing like our current ink line. Can you attest to that just by watching it here? Our regular inks would never do this. They are highly pigmented based ink. Look here. Me personally, I would never use this gold one by itself. I think the gold one works better to edge out your these more opaque colors and let it bloom and do its thing. This is absolutely beautiful. It's just gorgeous. They're only sold in a set for now because we anticipate we're going to sell out. It's kind of like when we debut a whatever. We sell it by the set first, and if we get more in, then we list it by open stock. But because everybody's waited on it so long, Janice, they are only sold in a set. I sorry, boo. Now let me show you. I'm going to that one in curing. We got to put a top coat on this too. Let's top coat these, and then I'm going to show you how to mix these with your other inks. Y'all learning something new tonight? Anybody? So you can see that is fully flat. And yeah, the light line is a tiny bit wavy, but it's not wavy enough that you would need like a builder gel or anything like that. Just put on a schmoozy layer of your top coat here, and that will smooth everything out. If you do your own nails, you know that your non-dominant hand is the hardest one to do. This kind of artwork on your non-dominant is freestyle artwork. Just let it go wherever it wants to go, because you don't have to stay within any lines. You don't have to try to paint flowers, anything like that. It's the perfect artwork on your opposite hand. Let me see how close I can get so you can see that. Oh, she wants to get jumpy when I get too close, doesn't she? Look at the depth we got in there. It does, Destiny, and I didn't even plan that. I missed a comment. Somebody wants to know the colors of ink I have on this one. Real quick here, the base gel polish is Candy Crush. And then the ink colors I have are brown, aqua, I'll put my top on, and just a teeny weeny, just the tiniest touch of orange ink ever, like right up in that area. And then the colors of Watercolor Bloom that I used was the Cornflower and Buttercup. And Buttercup is metallic. Now, let me say this, because you have two shades of white. This 001 is this white out white. It is the opaque, bright white. Okay? 10, number 10 is this silky, pearly white. You would use it the same way as you used this gold one. This one needs to butt up next to a color so it creates all of that extra dimension in there. I would not use this one by itself. Make this one follow. Your gold and your pearl white, make those sit up next to something. And let's top coat this. Boy, that's pretty. Now I want to change my nails. Girl, quit. That is a stunner. And now let's cure. Okay, let's talk about, do you want to see how this one works really quick before I show you how to mix these? Yeah, okay. I only got 2 colors of gel polish sitting here, so let me go back into this pink one. I try to pull ahead of time for my lives so I'm not up and down a half dozen times. I'll show you on just a plain nail that doesn't have any alcohol ink in the background of it. All right, let's cure that. You forgot about your lima beans. Girl, don't do it, Lord.
Lima beans don't taste good.
Keith likes the little green baby limas. These are beautiful, y'all. It's so, so pretty. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so let's do, I think we're going to do the rose water. Let me give that a good shaky. I think that'll be pretty over this. Let's just show how they look without ink underneath them. in case you want to do something like this quick on a client's nail. Mine have been sitting in the cold office all day. Okay. Ladybug luster. I'm going to go ahead and put this rose on, or rose water. And I'm going to go fairly heavy. I'll lay her right there. I'm not loving this shade of pink gel polish under it, but I'm not hating it. And now you see that she's starting to separate a little. We're going to take this really light, faint pearl. These pearl colors actually make this get really creepy crawly and just separate in all kind of ways, honey. Okay, it's just kind of meandering there. I'm going to take just a little bit of my acetone. Just because I want to tailor it a little bit. I want to expose some of this color underneath. And now, instead of harsh marble lines, we have this really soft, almost like a cloud formation. Look right in here, how pretty. Beautiful. It's just beautiful. In the lamp we go. Now, what if, Miss Tracy, we need a color in this that we do not have? What if we need, what if we want a deeper purple instead of this lavender? Well, I'm glad you asked. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. Because I'm only curing the top coat for 10 seconds, Christy. And then I top coat right back over it. All right. Now, when we're mixing, I don't know if I said this, I think I did. When we're mixing this and this together, we have to, our ratio has to be more of this than this. If we get too much of this, it's going to overpower the blooming effect of this. Okay? So we take our watercolor bloom, put it on our palette. Then we're going to take a little teensy bit of that. And I'm just going to look at her real quick here. Let's see if, let's check her ratio. Oh, that looks good. Let's go a little darker. Maybe just a little bit more. You know you got your ratio off if when you try and bloom her, she doesn't go anywhere. Now, I already have top coat on here. And I'm just going to lay that in. I'll lay that down. I'm going to go back in my number 10 because I'm loving this white pearl. Ooh, I'm getting some cool patterns in there. Look. Oh, I love how this is getting real lacy up here at the top. A little bit there, a little there. A little here. A little here. Girl, girl. And now I'm just going to kind of manipulate and push that where I want it. I had you at purple, I know. And this is the purple in the Watercolor Bloom, and our regular purple alcohol ink. Which if you want more neon, then go into your neon purple. I just love this, y'all. Those of you that are teachers, instructors, this will make your students feel like a rock star because they don't have to have such a perfect, you know, people say, girl, I can't draw a stick figure. You don't need to draw stick figures when you have this. This makes them feel really good about the artwork they're producing. Child, you got to stop it. This is beautiful. Look here. And it's still blooming and moving. She's not going to stop moving until I put it in the lamp. It will, Janice. It'll make them feel so confident about their work that eventually, once they build that skill up, then they can go on to other skills. Look, there are artists that all they do is alcohol ink. They don't do anything else. And that's not a bad thing, because if alcohol ink is your jam, you should be doing it to the point that you can perfect it and get really, really, really good at it. And your alcohol ink arsenal should be locked and loaded with any kind of ink. Well, you need almost Tracy Vincent's ink. Let's just put it that way. Some of y'all have all of my inks. So the Watercolor Bloom will work specifically with any of our inks. It doesn't have to be the triangle bottle. It could be our little square bottles that are our limited edition colors as well. You can also use them with, I pulled a metallic ink here, because our metallic inks will go chrome, but it also creates a really pretty effect if you put the metallic ink in the wet top coat, which we've never done before, and then you go in with a little bit of either your gold or one of the others and bloom into it. It's very, very pretty. Very pretty. So all this one was the purple bloom ink that we mixed. On a dark purple nail, this would be striking. Yeah. Any questions? Can you use a liquid chrome with it? Yes, Erin, you can. If you wanted to, let me grab this one for example. If I wanted to use liquid chrome with this, I would chrome this layer before I put any of my inks on there. You with me? And then I would let my inks sit on top of that chromed layer, because inks are translucent and you're going to see the chrome through it outside of this little cornflower that we put in there. If you chrome it all over, that would probably work too, but you're going to lose some of your detail. On a black nail is going to be incredible. A black nail would be beautiful. But matter of fact, I got a black nail pot laying here. Let's see. Let's see what we got, boo. These are, let me use a couple I've already shaken. Or let me use 2 or 3 I've already shaken, honey. I just love this, y'all. This is like a mango color. This sprinkle of peach. You could do liquid stones with this. There is no reason why in the world you could not make your own liquid stones with this technique right here. Girl. All right, here we go. Ladybug Luster. Here's what I would recommend, y'all. I would have a Ladybug Luster set aside just for these inks. that I don't use like on nails that have glitter or anything like that on it. Get you a clean bottle of Ladybug Luster, glue you a crystal on it, and that is what goes with your watercolor bloom ink. Your brain just went on overload. What you thinking, Janice? All right, I'm going to use a little rose, a little blue, and a little peach, and then I'm going to go in with a little gold, I think. Here's my blue. Tap, tap, tap. Wipe my brush. I'm going to go with a little bit of my pink. The rose water. Wipe my brush. And then a little bit of this peach. Wipe my brush. And just wait now till it starts to separate some. The peach is so beautiful. You know, I almost used the peach over that first one that I put the lavender in. Okay, and again, the warmer the hand, the faster that that's going to activate. Be ready for photo overload. Okay, Boo, you can tag me. All right, now I'm going to take a little tiny bit of that gold. I don't want to overdo it because she really dances around and moves this product quickly. So a too big of drop of that is going to separate my colors too much. Okay, now where you put that gold down, take you just a tiny bit. It's almost like a dry brushed acetone. And just tap. Tap. And tap a little here. There's endless possibilities. Like, seriously, I could sit here all night and come up with just design after design after design. And if you have a really good creative side to your brain, you'll learn how to turn your water inks into a design. Look, I'm really compressing this and making it more like line work, like the solar system, honey. Girl, she pretty. I could sit here and fool with this all day. I'm going to go ahead and cure that. I do want to show you what happens if you are going to use the Hema Free. You actually need the Hema to help these bloom out like this, but you get a different bloom if you are blooming it into Hema Free. So let me show you that. You're going to need a little brush to help yourself along. I'm going to grab a 00. And I think I'll just use the white so you can see that really well on this black. Thank y'all for hanging out with me tonight. Who's joining me Sunday night? Lord, Hillary got us a whole fishbowl full of prizes we're going to give away. We got gift cards. We've got $5 off your order. We got $10 off your order. We got one item off for 50%. It's all kinds of stuff in there. Yes, honey. You have to be watching live to win. Here we go, GGO. Trisha, girl, I haven't seen you in ages. Where have you been? Auntie? Look, I'm going to get my Trisha fix in February. She's coming to my class in St. Augustine. We have 2 seats open. Only 2. If you've never been in class with her, child, honey child. Lord. We gonna call it work. Now, we gonna call it work, honey. Now, as you can see, this white is very, very potent. And this is the HEMA-free, so we are not getting the like we normally would in the Ladybug Luster. But look at that white, how bright over top. Can y'all see that? Oh, yes, Lord. Oh, I have a cramp in my leg, child. So I'm just going to let it kind of spread and do its thing there. She's not going to spread a whole lot, but if you have a 00 brush handy, look. Oh. And watch, it just fades out to nothing. Wouldn't this make some pretty flames on nails? And we go down that way. So you're going to get an entirely different look if you're placing it in the HEMA-free. It seems to move more like blooming gel in the HEMA-free. You're exactly right. We're not getting the little cells that form like it forms in the Ladybug Luster. Now look, y'all, I was having a conversation with somebody this week. I forget who I was talking to, and we were talking about all of the HEMA allergies, and I know it's an argument across the board, so I'm not here to argue with that by any means, but we were talking about when Russian manicure came on the scene, how it seemed like our HEMA allergies went up because of that cuticle pocket being opened. And I guess that's a hill I'll die on, is I don't do a Russian manicure. I do a really nice manicure where I can clean up. I can almost have it look like a Russian manicure, but I always left that cuticle area sealed. And all the years I did nails, I never had a client that was allergic. So take it for what it's worth, obviously, to each his own. And I'm not knocking anybody for how you believe or what you like to use in your salon, okay? So please don't think that. Please don't think that. Okay, this is regular Ladybug Luster. I'm going to use the same blooming ink so we can see how she does here. You already see, do you see, Aaron, if you're still watching, do you see how that ink spread immediately in this Ladybug Luster? And it stayed real tight in the HEMA-free Ladybug Luster, didn't it? I wish my hands were warm. Now remember, acetone your best friend. If you think yours looks like intestines, honey, just tap your acetone and tailor that a little bit. If she looks like guts, you tailor it a little bit. And now we're getting that cloud solar system kind of look from above Earth. Y'all know what I'm saying? Look here how pretty. It's just a completely different look than regular alcohol ink. I see myself using this a whole lot in my stonework. Girl, this is going to make my stonework like 10 times easier. Can use the Hollywood top coat with and bloom in that. I've not tried it, Crystal. I've not tried it, boo. Let's see if you can. Hold on. Hold on. So this is HEMA-free right here. This is our regular Ladybug Luster right there. Let's see. Let's get one of our Hollywood tops that that are not HEMA-free. Hold on, I got it right here. Here we go. We've got Walk of Fame. Let's try it. Sure be nice if we could. I don't know that she's going to bloom because of all the flakes in it. I feel like the flakes are going to stop it. But now if you wanted this under there, you could put this on and cure it and then put your Ladybug Luster over top of it, which is what I think would have to happen. But we'll still check it and see. We'll still check it. Let's go in this Mango Peach. Let's see. A little bit more on my brush here. Yeah, she gonna get caught up on those pieces. Look. The little glitters or flakes in there, I don't think are gonna allow her to bloom properly. I mean, we're getting a little bit of edging there. Yeah, that would be a no for me, Crystal. I'm getting it. It looks real dirty. Well, now I don't know. Now she looks solar system, honey. Now she looks galaxy. Girl, won't you quit? I would have to put some metallic glaze over this to smooth it out. I can tell. But now that's not bad looking. I guess it's all in our minds as the artist of how we want it to function. But before we cure that, let's get this off of here. Hold on. And let's put this back on. Only cure for 10 seconds. And then I'm going to go over top with just Ladybug Luster. Now look here. This is laid here and dried up on my palette. Take you some acetone, go right back in there, or alcohol, and you just rehydrate it. And you can use it even if it's dried out. All right, now we've cured those little chameleon flakes into place. Ladybug Luster. Peach. Oh yeah. Look, look, look what a smooth application we're getting now. That's it. That's it. So if you want to use a sparkle top coat, you still want to seal that up. You want to cure that and seal it with your Ladybug Luster. And just letting her bloom a little. And these will ship tomorrow, by the way. If you bought yours today, some have already shipped today. Keith was shipping as y'all were placing your orders so we could get them out really quickly. If you order tonight and anything until 1 o'clock tomorrow, will ship tomorrow. After 1 o'clock Eastern, they won't ship until Monday. Now just touch lightly. Touch lightly. Look, you're going to tailor this just like you would any other alcohol ink. I am still not loving over that background. but it could grow on me. It could grow on me. Looks like a tree root, doesn't it? It's very unique. All right, let's cure that. Any other questions? If you're just joining us, look at this one we did earlier. This is our Watercolor Bloom Art Inks. They separate like a loofah sponge. And they stay completely flat in the nail. Just wouldn't this make a beautiful set of press-ons? This one's your favorite? I do too, girl. Look, we never know what... And look, depending on the temperature in your salon, especially if you're working near a cold air return or you've got air blowing, your inks might not flow as well. So keep that in mind. If you're not getting that soft, flowy kind of look that I've got going on here, turn your fan off. Or if you got a heat vent near you, something, maybe turn a different direction, put up something to block that just temporarily while you're working with that. Not saying that it would affect it, but it could affect it because of it, that the fluid in your alcohol ink, in your watercolor bloom inks, have to evaporate. And that's what's happening as it's getting into that wet layer in that top coat we've put it in. So all that's left behind is the pigment that stays. That's why it creeps and moves and all the things, is because the liquid is evaporating and leaving your pigment. So if you find it's not separating like you want, it could be that your liquid is just evaporating way, way, way too fast. And on a humid day, a hot and humid day, guess what? It will take her a little bit longer to evaporate. So real quick, let me go over the colors in the 10-piece watercolor bloom set. Now, they're going to ship in a box like this. I know somebody going to message me when they open their box and say, Miss Trace, you shorted me too. Well, the box holds 12, honey, and it's only 10 in the color collection. So 2 slots are going to be empty. Okay. We've got 2 shades of white. We've got a super bright white and a very, very pale shimmery. This floating petals is that kind of like a pearl white. Violet Ripple. Indigo Shower. There's 2 shades of blue. There's this deep indigo and the cornflower that I used on this aqua nail. We've got a lily pad. Lily leaf. Midnight Mist. We didn't even get to this one. Can you imagine this over like some of your nude colors or even like your neons? Both of those. Then we have rose water. We've got buttercup, is what we used in the aqua nail as well. And peach. That's our 10 colors. What you think? You gonna try it? Who grabbed these today? Thank you. If you grabbed them, thank you. From the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate your business. Jess, I know you were sitting on ready for these. So I can't wait to see what y'all make with these. Super easy to work with, compatible with all of your other inks. And make sure you've got Ladybug Luster to bloom these properly. They must sit in a wet layer. And look, I put that on the website today when we put the listing up. So if you forget, just go over there to the description and it will tell you, what did she say? Put that in? Just go look and see and it'll be on there. Look, I can't wait to see y'all Sunday night. I'll see you for our Christmas concert and some live prize giveaways and a couple other little surprises on Sunday. Love y'all and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.